The Lotus Sutra, Chapter 22, Entrustment. At that time, Shakyamuni Buddha rose from his Dharma seat and, manifesting his great supernatural powers, with his right hand patted the head of the immeasurable Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas and spoke these words. For immeasurable hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions of asamkhaya kalpas, I have preached this hard-to-attain law of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Now I entrust it to you. You must single-mindedly propagate this law abroad, causing its benefit to be spread far and wide. 3 times he patted the Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas on the head and spoke these words. For immeasurable hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions of asamkhaya kalpas, I have practiced this hard-to-attain law of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Now I entrust it to you. You must accept, uphold, read, recite, and broadly propagate this law, causing all living beings everywhere to hear and understand it. Why? Because the thus come one has great pity and compassion. He is in no way stingy or begrudging, nor has he any fear. He is able to bestow on living beings the wisdom of the Buddha, the wisdom of the thus come one, the wisdom that comes of itself. The thus come one is a great giver of gifts to all living beings. You, for your part, should respond by studying this law of the thus come one. You must not be stingy or begrudging. In future ages, if there are good men and good women who have faith in the wisdom of the thus come one, you should preach and expound the Lotus Sutra for them, so that others may hear and understand it. For in this way you can cause them to gain the Buddha wisdom. If there are living beings who do not believe and accept it, you should use some of the other profound doctrines of the thus come one to teach, benefit, and bring joy to them. If you do all this, then you will have repaid the debt of gratitude that you owe to the Buddhas. When the Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas heard the Buddha speak these words, they all experienced a great joy that filled their bodies, with even greater reverence than before. They bent their bodies, bowed their heads, pressed their palms together, and facing the Buddha, raised their voices in unison, saying, "We will respectfully carry out all these things just as the World-Honored One has commanded. We beg the World-Honored One to have no concern on this account." The multitude of Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas repeated these words 3 times, raising their voices in unison and saying, "We will respectfully carry out all these things just as the World-Honored One has commanded. Therefore, we beg the World-Honored One to have no concern on this account." At that time, Shakyamuni Buddha caused the Buddhas who were emanations of his body and had come from the 10 directions to return each one from his original land, saying, "Each of these Buddhas may proceed at his own pleasure. The Tower of Many Treasures Buddha may also return to its former position." When he spoke these words, the immeasurable emanation Buddhas from the 10 directions who were seated on lion seats under the jeweled trees, as well as the Many Treasures Buddha, superior practices, and the others of the great multitude of boundless asamkhayas of bodhisattvas, Shariputra and the other voice hearers and 4 kinds of believers, and the heavenly and human beings, asuras and others in all the worlds, hearing what the Buddha had said, were all filled with great joy. May all merit and virtue from this activity adorn the Buddha's Pure Land, repaying the 4 kinds of kindness above and aiding those suffering in the paths below. May all of those who see and hear of this bring forth the resolve for enlightenment, and when this retribution body is over, be reborn together in ultimate bliss. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.